Your dad's gonna love this.
My dad?
Now through Father's Day, when you buy any 4 washes, you get 2 free. It's Mike's best deal of the year. Just don't forget your dad.
Oh, it's 63 at Rochester and 77 Pine Village. We've got a warm front, and with that warm front, scattered storms. We'll talk about an isolated severe threat coming up.
Ray Miller, a 90-year-old World War II veteran, and Chris Turpin, a nurse with Franciscan St. Elizabeth Health, met for the first time in April 2012. Tonight, see how a chance meeting on board Lafayette's first honor flight has turned into a friendship neither could have expected. It's been 25 years since one Lafayette man first joined the Air Force, and now he's joining the military again. What inspired him to re-enlist and why he says the timing couldn't have been better.
News 18 at 6 starts now. WLFI Lafayette. News from where you live.
Good evening, I'm Dan Klein. Thanks for joining us on this Memorial Day. Jeff Smith and Juna Quattrochi have the holiday off. Well, we are following some breaking news now out of Lafayette. Police are investigating a report of shots fired on the city's south side. News 18's Brittany Tyner joins us live on the phone from Claystone at the crossing. Brittany, what have you been able to find out?
Yeah, Dan, I spoke with 2 different Lafayette police officers who have not been able to confirm if shots were actually fired. However, one told me that they do have witnesses who saw a red tip of a firearm, making them think the person or persons they're searching for had some type of an airsoft gun. Right now, officers are searching around in the playground area of this apartment complex. At first, 3 officers were here on scene, but I saw 2 more pull in the apartment complex here in the past 10 minutes or so. News 18 will continue to gather information as soon as it becomes available to us. Reporting live here in Lafayette, Brittany Tyner, News 18.
Okay, Brittany, thanks for that information. Now let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Chad Evans, who's tracking some weather and some lightning moving into our area. Chad?
Yeah, we've got scattered storms out there with a little cluster of more organized storms in eastern Illinois, and they're all occurring very close to that warm front that's separating summer from spring. Notice where a lot of that lightning is, just west of Hoopeston. That's moving eastward, and notice the scattered storms really from Warren, Fountain, Tippecanoe over into Carroll County and Clinton County right now. And any one of these could put out a very brief damaging wind gust, and there's a very weak isolated tornado potential this evening with the warm front around. Key is isolated, and also notice other showers around Kokomo, Lebanon, Crawfordsville. Everything is kind of moving to the east. We're going to be tracking these throughout the evening. More coming up.
All right, thanks, Chad. Well, scattered rain throughout the early afternoon did not shut down a Memorial Day tradition in Lafayette. The annual Lafayette Memorial Day Parade went down Main Street and into Columbian Park. The parade featured several veterans, including Marine Corporal Matthew Bowman. Lafayette Mayor Tony Rosworski walked in the parade today and says he's proud of the city for always honoring veterans.
We work very hard around here to honor our veterans. The men and women who have served our country, those that have made the ultimate sacrifice, supporting our Gold Star mothers. And so whether it's Memorial Day, whether it's Veterans Day, where there's a lot of a veterans event, this community, really steps up.
The parade ended at the Columbian Park Memorial Island for the annual Memorial Day ceremony. This year's ceremony honored the Lafayette chapter of the Indiana Gold Star Mothers. Each family of a local fallen soldier was presented with a rose to remember their son. Keynote speaker Marilyn Moores, Indiana's judge advocate for the National Guard, says she appreciated the community support even with the rainy weather.
It's a testament to Heartland America, to the fact that the American people love, honor, cherish, and respect their fighting men and women, and that they come out to show that honor, whether it's lovely or not.
One guest for both the parade and the ceremony was U.S. Senator Joe Donnelly. Donnelly is taking the holiday weekend to visit around the state. He says he enjoyed his time in Lafayette, honoring the veterans and remembering fallen soldiers, even if there was a little rain.
Memorial Day is such a special, sacred day to honor our war dead who have done everything, including the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. I think everybody feels the same way, which the rain is nothing compared to what our veterans have done for us.
Donnelly visited the Indianapolis 500 yesterday. Past and present veterans are honored at the Indiana Veterans Home. A ceremony was held for the annual Memorial Day celebration today. The guest speaker was Purdue graduate and retired U.S. Air Force Major General Erica Studerman. She shared with veterans how she came into the Air Force and how warfare has changed over the years. She also spoke about her father, a veteran of both World War II and the Korean War, who died just 12 days ago. Studerman says the veterans and fallen are the reason we are free. She says the oldest person at the Veterans Home is 100 and the youngest is 25.
We have a beautiful home here with wonderful care that can care for that span of veterans, male and female, from all services and all of our wars and conflicts.
I think everybody should celebrate the fact that we have freedom in this country.
The ceremony also included the reading of deceased residents at the Indiana Veterans Home, retiring of colors, and a 21-gun salute by American Legion Post 492. War veterans are not the only people honored on Memorial Day. The Lafayette Fire Department held a ceremony to pay tribute to firefighters who have died. Firefighters gathered on the lawn of Fire Station 5 off of Creasy Lane. Taps was played along with the final alarm, a ringing of a bell symbolizing the firefighters' passing. Fire Chief Richard Doyle says remembering those who served before keeps firefighters grounded.
We've lost 5 of our firefighters in the line of duty, and obviously a good number of men have gone since they've retired. So we just take, like they do all around the United States, we take a moment to remember their service and their sacrifice.
Crosses were put out along Creasy Lane with each firefighter's name. The Lafayette Fire Department lost 5 retired officers in the last year. One Lafayette man who retired from military service 18 years ago. But this Memorial Day weekend, he's re-enlisting. News 18's Elizabeth Rentschler has more on the National Guardsman who says his age is just a number.
While many spent their Memorial Day weekend with friends and family, Timothy Follier of Lafayette did something else. For the second time in his life, he joined the United States military, this time at the age of 42.
I really miss the lifestyle. I really like helping.
Follier originally joined the Air Force at the age of 18, spending 6 years in the military before getting his discharge in 1995. He then moved with his family to Lafayette and started working for an area manufacturer. While Follier says he always knew one day he would rejoin the military, his family was a bit surprised.
My son kind of looked at me funny, like, you can still get in at your age? And I was, oh, thanks, son.
But it wasn't just his family. Even the National Guard recruiters seemed a bit shocked.
They were like, you know, their jaws dropped, and they were telling me that I was the oldest that they've ever recruited in Indiana that's actually made it through.
But he didn't let that discourage him. Since January, Follier has been training nonstop to get back in tip-top shape.
Pretty much every day I'm lifting and working on my cardiovascular and just trying to remember what a soldier looks like.
And Friday, that training paid off.
I stood in front of a captain down in Indianapolis and had raised my right hand and swore back into the United States Army National Guard.
So while Follier didn't plan to join this Memorial Day weekend, he says he couldn't have asked for a better time.
I think everything happens for a reason, and it's kind of a neat closing to the long 6 months that I've fought to go back in.
Follier will attend basic training for 9 weeks in Missouri this October. He will be assigned to duty in Crawfordsville. Reporting in Lafayette, Elizabeth Rentschler, News 18.